Alright, so here's my solution, or hopefully. Pair of pliers in there. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Here, let's adjust that. We got the thing in there. I'm not going to be able to get it as tight, obviously. I think that's about as tight as I can get it with these fucking pliers. Huh. Kind of useless. Could be a little bit. Bearing is a little tight. Let's see if I can tighten it with the loosen it with a screwdriver. No, not anymore. So it's reasonably tight. Okay, let's see if we can adjust it. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Could be a little bit looser. I suppose it'll tend to loosen up anyway. Mind you, that's what we don't want. Once it starts loosening up, it's not going to stop. Okay, let's open it up again. I think it's still... Alright, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's really annoying it's got this stupid lip, which makes it difficult to secure in the vise. Ideally, you'd put some kind of something inside those grooves there. You know, you can see this thing is still moving around. Okay, that's pretty good there. Let's see if we can use our needle nose pliers to tighten it up even just a little bit more. Damn. Still too tight. Loosen it up some more. Yeah, that was pretty tight. I think that'll do. On the other hand, I'm not sure. Maybe when I mean, that's the thing. You can't tell. Am I actually tightening up the tightening up the lock nut, or am I just tightening up the bearing? I don't know. Like I said, I wish whoever designs these bicycle parts wouldn't do this. You know, it's a real nuisance to those of us who take the maintenance of our bicycles seriously. Oh, now it's too loose. Bugger all. Okay. Yeah, we don't need this extender anymore. Where did I find that? It was in there. Oh yeah, it's pretty tight. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. I could live with that, I think. I could live with that. But yeah, the bearing is wrong. Oh, the bother. That's really nice. That's actually really nice. It's nice and tight. Okay, there's a fair amount of resistance there. I mean, I suppose it's always a question whether it's going to come loose under use or not. Okay, let me see. Oops. Still play. Okay. Right, I mean, yeah, if you want to know if a bearing is tight or not, okay, it should spin freely. There shouldn't be any play, so, you know, You can hear that click, right? That's play. You can feel it with your fingers, of course. Oops. I don't know, I may have to start over again. Yeah, it's a bit of a black art adjusting bearings. Just a bit more when I take out that play. Come on. I don't know if this is doing anything. I think maybe I finally got this thing. I've actually finally gotten the cone to sort of lock in place. That's ideally what you want. And then, you know, when you're turning the lock nut, you're just turning the lock nut, not both of them together. But of course, if that happens and the bearing is adjusted wrong, you know, it'll never come out right. See, it's not. Maybe I've stripped it. Might have stripped it. Oh no, maybe the bear. Damn. Yeah, I think that's what's happened. So I'm getting it nice and tight, the lock nut nice and tight. It's having very little effect on the tightness of the bearing. Okay, I think one more should do it. No, still garbage in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. It's never going to come out right now. And the other thing is, you're going to try to, when you try to open it up, it's going to pull it's going to do the opposite. It's going to pull the cone with it. And again, potentially strip the whole thing. Yeah, it's a very frustrating process, I won't lie. Sometimes I just want to throw the whole heap into the garbage can. Even doing simpler stuff than this. Oh, damn! I don't know, I might just leave it like that. I mean, that's not bad. Well, no, that's not acceptable. No, there shouldn't be any play. There should never be any play in the bearings. Some people will accept it, but it gives very poor bearing life. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get this or I'm just gonna strip the threads first. Yeah. Damn. It's almost gone. Almost. All right. One more turn, one more little turn. It's really tight now. It's really tight. There's still a bit of play. Oh, I can't tell you how frustrating this is. Because I could just leave it like that. I guess pedals it isn't quite such an issue. There's other things, they usually have a little bit of play in them. I try not to. No, that's no good. Alright. Should I, yeah, I mean the obvious thing, you just undo it, start all over again. Now to undo it again, you have to jam the stupid screwdriver in there. Try to get the lock nut uncoupled with the cone. I keep forgetting the name for that thing. It's pretty simple. Cone. Of course, this threaded 2 is also a nut of its own. There. There's a little bit of play. Okay, one more turn. Still a tiny bit of play. Yeah, and the other thing that when you check for play, don't just do so in one angle or orientation. Go the whole way around. See, there's still play there. Yeah, different orientations, different angles. Make sure there's no play anywhere. Ideally, anywhere. Sometimes the bearing is bad. You have to make a compromise. Either it's, it's just constantly binding, or it's got a couple of loose spots. But usually then the bearing is close to needing replacement. Okay, I think that'll do. So it's tight enough. I hope it doesn't come loose. Oh well. No, I'm still detecting a bit of play here. Alright, a little bit more, just for good measure. Yeah, and oh wait. No, still a little bit. Still a little bit there. Yeah, I think that, well, the bearing is not perfect. I know that. That's why I wanted to do it, because it was rough. Yeah, I mean, some fresh balls and fresh grease, it will extend the life of a bearing. You do have to change them more often. And there's still a bit of play there. It's probably better in this instance to have it looser rather than tighter. And there's less, there's less tension there, less force to making it loose. And I guess it depends which way the thing is spinning. Which side is this? This is usually it says, this is a right-hand pedal, so it'll be spinning this way. Be tightening. Yeah, so maybe better to leave it. Yeah, I think that'll do. Alrighty, let's reassemble. Does it have an orientation? No, I don't think so. Okay. We shall reassemble the pedal and install it on the bicycle. Now, I'm never sure what to do about these things. Do you grease them? Do you put some Loctite on them to make sure they don't fall off? If you do that, of course, then they're impossible to remove. And you have pointed out you don't actually Whereas if you grease them, they fall out. I don't know. That's not right. I think I'll just leave them be. Since there's no reason to remove them anymore, it doesn't matter whether they rust in place, or whether they're easy or hard to remove. Where did that thing go now? Seems very tight. Yeah, it was very tight. I don't know if that's cross-threaded. That's one thing about aluminum. You really have to be careful not to cross-thread it. That will completely destroy the threads. That one's quite tight too. Okay, I think that's just the way they are. There's a debate about whether you are supposed to grease lug nuts or not. I think the official instruction is you're supposed to, well, certainly for my car, you're supposed to leave them dry. I did grease them just because, I don't know, it's just such a habit. That's what my dad taught me to do. That's what he always did. He lived in England for a large part of his, for his formative years. And of course, it rains all the time there, so any grease you have quickly gets washed away. It helps protect against rust, but it's less of a, well, still a problem here. Anyway, so hopefully my wheels don't fall off. I changed the tires recently. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of roughness there in the bearing. You can feel that. Either that or it's a big chunk of dirt that fell in there while I was assembling it. That's always a possibility. Alrighty, now for the moment of truth. We install these on the bicycle. Reinstall them. When I was younger, I would never clean out the threads, but I think it's very important to do that. Keep them nice and clean. I mean, the cleaner you keep the bike, the longer it's going to last, right? Dirt is what wears it out. So you keep everything, especially parts that interface and that move, keep that all nice and clean. And the bike lasts longer. Yeah, this is reverse threaded, of course. So this is one way to clean threads, right? You stuff a rag in there. Ideally, until you can't get it any further. So here, I think for this small thin rag, we have to double it up to get that. Or triple it up. Stuff it in there until it can't go any further. And then you try to screw it in. You pretend it's a metal part and you screw it in. I think softer rags work better than these sheets. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do this one again. Yeah, I'm trying to install some fenders on this bike. It was supposed to be a birthday present. This is my sister's bike. It was supposed to be a birthday present for my sister. That was over a month ago, I think almost 2 months ago now. And yeah, I don't know if they're gonna fit. Gotta really be careful. I mean, yeah. And then you still need, I don't know, I wanted to install a rear rack as well, but there's only one eyelet here. I mean, this is very much a racing-oriented bike. You know, you can tell by the chain hanger here, and then it's got things here to set the position of the rear wheel to make wheel changes easier. Oh yeah, and I think that's right. When it was new, the brakes had wheel guides. Changed the brakes, upgraded the brakes. Actually, the other thing, yeah, you screw it in, then you screw it out again. Can't forget that. It's a double action. All right, now for the moment of truth. This is the one I was working on, right? Yeah, that's really loose. Yeah, again, leave it like that. I think it'll be hopefully less likely to come loose because there's less force on it. Anytime you have dissimilar metals contacting, so aluminum crank, steel pedal spindle, you always use lots of grease, otherwise it's gonna weld in there permanently. And the bike's actually, yeah, I brought this down here to my place so that I could fix it. I think my sister's coming down this weekend to pick it up. Well, not just to pick it up, but she will be able to pick it up. And it's finally almost ready. Alright, I need a 15mm wrench. Yeah, I usually tighten the pedals good and tight. I did actually destroy a crank once because the pedal came loose and I did not stop in time to tighten it. But why is there this play in the pedals? And then finally I stopped. Oh, pedals almost come out of the crank, and taking half the threads with it. Yeah, I think the fenders are a bust. Just say, well, you can exchange them for some 26-inch ones for a mountain bike. She's got a lot of mountain bikes. I think this is her only road bike size bike with road bike sized wheels. Actually, for the longest time, because, you know, cheapness runs in the family, she only had one set of these pedals, and she would swap it between bicycles. You know, rode her mountain bike. Okay, that should do. Alright, anyway, there we go. I think this is the one I was working on. Nice and smooth. Any play? No play, yes. We have succeeded, yes. Fucking A. Fucking A. Alright. And I mean, aside from the fenders and the rear rack, yeah, the bicycle is done. Oh yeah, I was going to replace the saddle as well. I don't know. Well, since she's coming up, I can ask her what she wants. I have a very fancy saddle. It's also very heavy. So she may or may not like it.